Blake Janover is the founder and CEO of Janover Inc., JNVR. They're changing the face of commercial real estate transactions. And we had a conversation, and we were talking about the fact that their platform for commercial real estate investing, lending, and such is so robust that there's going to be a FOMO, fear of missing out, very, very soon by banks and such, because this is a friction-free.
Yeah.
And I think somebody said on the phone, might have been Blake,
right?
Why would you go to your bank when I've got 3,000 right here with a push of a button? Blake Janover, I give you. Blake, how are you, sir?
I'm great. If you could keep pitching the story, I'd appreciate it. Also, I haven't had ribs since the late '90s. I'm having FOMO right now.
I had ribs and I had some Ovaltine with it as well, and maybe a little bit of a couple space food sticks from Major Matt Mason. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I also had those Underwood Vienna sausages at the same time. So I visited 1968 through 75. You know what? By the way, is it bad if my whole left side's numb?
No. Stretch it out.
That's fine.
Blake, I want to talk about this because you and I had a conversation about this, which is fantastic. And the point is that isn't it nice to have such a robust technology that it's almost like,
listen,
I would be frustrated. Okay, just shut up, sign up, because we're better. I mean, it's to the point where you're going to have FOMO with some major banks.
Listen, I think I think 90% of the banks in America ought to have FOMO. We have nearly 10% of the FDIC insured banks in America on our platform with the banker, giving us their data, participating in deals, quoting deals, requesting docs, doing deals, turning down deals. So 35% of the top 100 credit unions are represented on our platform, plus another 1,000 or two life companies, debt funds, REITs, everybody that's making commercial real estate loans. So anybody that's active in the space that isn't on our platform, Janover, ought to feel FOMO. And if you're a borrower, sorry for going off on a rant here.
No, sorry, we've been done all day.
Okay, good. So if everybody could just quiet down so I can.
By the way, Blake Janover, CEO of. Where'd you come up with the name, by the way? I'm just curious. So let me say something here.
I'm very creative. My mother told me I'm very creative.
I want to say this because every person in the studio knows how to buy a house. You put a down payment down, you fill out the application, they look up your shorts with a flashlight, you give them all the stuff, and then you get a loan, right? Commercial. So little did I know that has nothing to do with buying. So I bought these two buildings here, and I'll tell you what. First of all, CIA visited, FBI. I mean, I'm telling you, like the whole, people know what that means. It was a totally different story because I had to have a representative to the broker because it's such a different transaction with commercial real estate. So here's what I want to know. Is your platform so friction-free that I would have more options if I wanted to refi or I wanted to buy another building? And is that where this is, are we at an inflection point? Is that where this is going?
I believe we are at an inflection point. I think friction-free isn't the way I would put it. I would say we've significantly reduced frictions. You've been through it recently, so you understand that it's like a financial colonoscopy. And every single property, every type of loan, they all have totally different underwriting standards. Every bank has different underwriting standards. So we're trying to standardize as much of it as possible and make it easier and easier for lenders to quote and do deals and easier for borrowers to get more access. If you're a borrower, you're crazy if you're not doing your financing with us because you have a bank or you have a debt broker that's got 3 or 4 banks. We've got nearly 10% of the banks in the country that want to bid on your deal. And every bank has a different product, different appetites, and they have bankers inside their institutions that have different products and different appetites.
By the way, financial colonoscopy is now the name of the band. We're going to change the name. Also, my gang name.
We're going to rename the company.
Also, my gang name going forward. Can I? Michael, we'll get to your question when I say so. When I think about this, it truly is. I understand friction-free, hell, your real estate. Let's face it. But the bottom line here is that there's certain best practices in real estate that we all go through every single time. There's certain forms per state, and so on and so forth. My question for you is, can you be an enterprise-wide solution where there is the application process, the approval process, the underwriting process, the escrow process? Is that where this is going, to where it's basically it's an app on my phone, and what are you doing? I had to go pee, and I just got myself a commercial business loan. I mean, is it going there?
We're going to rename the company. 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 We're going we're aiming in that direction, yes. And the smaller transactions, it's getting closer and closer. The bigger ones, there's still complexity. That's why we still have world-class humans on the team. So we still have advisors that come out of some of the top shops in the country, like CBRE, Walker Dunlop, Meridian Capital, et cetera. But the way I like to tell the story is like we're a commercial mortgage broker with an Iron Man suit. And that means faster, easier, more streamlined, more and more online, but still access to the experts when you want it or need it. And yes, ultimately, it's all going in that direction. Ultimately, AI is going to eat the world. So,
I also find it interesting that every time you're on the air, happy hour's going on right behind you with all those people.
I know, to pay those people to stand there every single time.
Yeah, there's always a martini glass and some clinking going on.
Hey, Blake, as far as the overall...
And they don't move.
Yeah. Well,
I tell them, I say, freeze.
that was a big party, and you had to go to taxidermy afterwards, so now it's just lawn furniture.
Blake, as far as the nation is concerned, what when it comes to commercial real estate, is there one that always is moving better than others? What's that market look like right now?
So look, commercial broadly gets thrown in. It's the baby with the bathwater, as they say. So urban B and C office and D is probably most exposed. There's a lot of exposure in multifamily that was purchased in the last 24 months by ambitious syndicators with high leverage and no interest rate caps on their loans. Net, the commercial real estate market really thrived over the last 5 and 10 years. All the maturities that are coming up are generally for healthy loans that benefited from inflation by their net operating income increasing. If you ask me what my favorite sectors are, I think you have to slice and dice it. It's an asset with a geography. The Sun Belt's done extremely well as people have left high tax. I don't want to get political, but places like New York, Chicago, and California, and they've come to the Carolinas, Florida, Texas, and what have you. So those
all
are
the swing states, you're saying. Blake Janover's his name, founder and CEO, Janover Inc., JNVR. You'll see a lot more of him coming up soon. Let me tell you this.
Thank you, boys.
If